CJ,
Hello, mate.
welcome to the show.
Appreciate it.
Got a quote I wanted to start reading out to you.
Go on.
I had a young lad reach out to me the other day and said, I'm struggling with crippling anxiety. How do I deal with it? I said, mate, when I figure that one out, I'll let you know. What makes you feel anxious?
This, everything. It's something I've really, I don't want to start this and go straight in at the deep end, but it's something I've really struggled with for a long time, and it's something that held me back and I let hold me back. After I stopped fighting, I kind of took all my bravery and my courage from fighting, and I just well and truly lived that life, and it was kind of who I was. After I lost that, I stopped that, I lost all of that, and I kind of went completely off the other end and forgot everything that I'd kind of done and lost all the confidence in, I don't know, myself, and I don't know, it's just a really weird feeling. I can't really describe it. But so to answer your question, like, everything now kind of makes me anxious, and I don't know why. So all of this stuff is kind of me learning again, like how to put yourself out there and try again. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain. I can't really articulate it that well. But a lot of stuff that probably shouldn't make me anxious. I overthink things a lot, and even this today, we said, right, I've never met you before, so it makes me, even meeting a new person makes me a bit like, fucking hell, like if I overthink it, I'll end up just fucking myself up. So that's why it's more just like, now, fuck it, book it in and just fucking do it. Just have a go. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I think it was your video I saw with the Michael Bisping run.
Yes.
And
yes.
You was talking about a similar sort of thing of doing something that scares you a little bit, and like you're going on the run and that. Why does something like that? Why do you feel something like that gets you? Is it the meeting the new people?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not particularly good at meeting new people. Big groups. This is all right, like 1-to-1, but 4 or 5 people, I'll be the geezer that's at the back that you won't hear from me, really. I don't know. I can't really explain it, but I'm just not particularly good in big groups. And that, for me, when Mike Bisping posted that thing about the run was at the end of the road from where we are now, literally at the end of the road, and I kind of see it, and instantly I thought, yeah, you should do that. But then that little bit of me went, nah, you ain't gonna. Like, you ain't gonna. You know you ain't gonna. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I was a bit like, nah. I messaged him back as a thing to say, like, right, if you message him, you gotta fucking go and do it.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what I did. And then I just went along for the run, and I'm glad I did. It was a really, really good thing. I met a geezer there that I fought, Danny Mitchell.
Oh, you fought Danny Mitchell?
Fought Danny Mitchell, yeah.
Wow.
He nearly ripped me in 2 pieces. He twisted me.
He's good.
But yeah, even that was a lovely thing to see someone to see a familiar face and a geezer that you haven't seen for 10 odd years, an old opponent. Yeah, it was well worth doing. So life's better on the side of just going, yeah, fuck it, I'm just going to have a go. Good things come.
Yeah, it's funny when people would have a perception of someone who's a professional fighter as someone who doesn't really give a fuck, doesn't get anxious about stuff. But it is really funny, the more people I talk to who have stepped in the cage or have done really courageous things, like, they are sometimes the worst for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I really, I haven't fought for what, 10, 12 years, whatever, but I really struggled with the pre-fight stuff. And I think unless you're a complete psychopath, everyone does. And if they say they don't, they're fucking lying. Yeah. Like, everyone's scared, unless you are genuinely a lunatic and you just fucking love fighting.
Then you've probably got some deeper problems.
Mate, there is some geezers out there, like, I come across a few that just fucking loved fighting. Yeah. And they're scary, they're scary guys, but the majority of us that are just normal geezers, we all get scared. And I think that's what people are kind of taken to, like you just said, oh, you're this big, bad ex-cage fighter, but you're the same as everyone else. You get scared and just you feel anxiety, you get nervous just the same as everyone else, sometimes more so. And I'm a big sort of, I fell victim to that a long time. I let that stop me for a lot of my life.
What has it stopped you doing at points in your life?
I would say the last couple of years, I fell into a bit of a hole where I stopped training, even to the point where, obviously off the back of training and fighting, most people train people. I lost all confidence to even go and do that.
Okay.
Like, it was like I completely forgot everything I'd done. Like, I was in a gym from 12, boxing, started BJJ at 15, 16. I rushed through that. I wish to God I'd kept a fucking gi on, but I was just obsessed with MMA.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to fight MMA, I want to fight MMA. And I just remember at the time thinking, oh, fuck this gi. I don't want to learn gi chokes and sorry, I touched the thing. I don't want to learn gi chokes and whatnot. I just want to get out there into the real world. And I rushed, and I wish to God I'd left the gi on. But so I'd done a good amount of training. I was in the gym from a kid up to an adult, from 13, 14 to 30 years of age. I had 17 years of being solid in a gym. And in the space of a year or two, I just lost all of that. And I don't know why. I lost even the confidence to go and train people. So
that's bizarre, isn't it?
Mate, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I think I had a couple of losses, and I just completely fell out of love with the sport and training and getting hit and getting hurt.
Do you think it was like burnout?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. I do think I probably should have spoke to someone, like, but even, we're talking, this was, I don't know what it was, 10, 12 years ago, whatever. I feel like people talk about stuff a lot more now.
Yeah.
Back then, people didn't. Like, you was this fighter and you got on with it and it was like, fucking hell, what are you talking about? Get on with it. Ugh. Whereas I probably should have took a minute and took a break and gone, nah, you've fucking been training for 17 odd years, whatever it is. Have a break, have a few months off. You know what I mean? And I didn't. And that maybe would have given me a fresh look at it. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I probably should have spoke to someone, and I probably should have had a little break, I reckon.
Yeah. What is an anxiety that you had when you were younger that you feel has faded with your age?
I feel like this stuff, boxing, martial arts, I was painfully shy.
Right, okay.
I was fucking painfully shy. Like, my teens were a horrible time. When I think back, people say, oh, I'd love to go back to my teens, mate. I fucking wouldn't. I fucking wouldn't. I was like an in-betweener. I was painfully shy. I couldn't speak to a bird.
Yeah.
I was just painfully shy. I don't know what it was. And everything scared me. But then I think my dad kind of see that, and he stuck me into boxing at 12, because he was a bit of a boxer back in the day himself, and he knew how good it is for someone like me who was painfully shy and potentially probably going to get bullied or whatnot. So he stuck me into boxing, and everything I've gained, everything brave I've ever done, really stems from learning how to defend myself from a young age, and my confidence has come from that, I think.
Yeah, I think I put a clip out just yesterday talking about this exact thing. It was like martial arts for me. Like I say, I don't compete. I've had a couple of low-level kickboxing matches, and they didn't go very well for me. Right?
It happens. Don't worry about it.
I've still got a headache today. But for me, it's so much more about like the punches and the kicks and the takedowns. It's about what it can actually teach you outside of the mats and the cage if you do compete or whatever you compete in. For me, it's like, I wouldn't be able to sit here and do this if I'd have never stepped on the mats.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I wouldn't have the self-confidence and the self-worth. Like right now, as a guy looking at us as I'm talking, and in the past, that would have like crippled me.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I know that I'm doing something that I genuinely enjoy, that hopefully the person sitting across from me is enjoying, and that hopefully is going to help someone as well. And I think that's what martial arts is. You're doing something a bit difficult, and you can potentially look a bit silly, but it's going to make you better. It's going to make the person you're training with better, and it's going to hopefully benefit someone else down the road as well.
When I think about life and think back, the best geezers I ever met were fighters. And I think because as a fighter and as someone, not fighters, but geezers that are in this game. You haven't got to be, fighting at a high level or whatever, but just geezers that are on the mats. Yeah. That's more what I meant. Best geezers I ever met were guys that are involved in this game. And because, as you said, you get beat every day. And you can't be a bully, because there is always someone that's going to be able to bully you. And if you're in a gym where you are the bully, you're never going to get better anyway, because it means you're the best one there, and that's not what you want, and it means your gym's probably shit, because you always need to be around people that are better than you to get, to get to that better level.
And that transfers over into life as well.
100%, 100%. And if you are a bully or a bit of a cock or a bit sure about yourself, mate, someone will beat that out of you really fucking quickly, because you know what it's like. You don't find a lot of bullies in this game. You get the odd one or two wanker.
It is very rare.
Exactly, as I say, they humble geezers that you get beat every day, and you're always getting, mate, to get choked out every day and tapped. Every time you step on the mat, it's like you get beat, and you just, I'm trying to say, you kind of like, you don't put yourself on any sort of pedestal, you know what I mean? You are there, and the best fellas that I ever met were on those mats, and I feel like if everyone knew how much a punch in the face hurt, the world would be a better place. You know what I mean? Because people wander around the real world like, but you don't really get that in these fight gyms, do you?
Yeah.
Like, because if you do, someone bigger and badder than you is going to come along.
It gets weeded out very quickly.
Yeah, and it's only the new guy that might come in and be a bit cocksure of himself.
Yeah.
And then someone will just lift him up.
But I think that's also beautiful, because I was a fucking guy when I was 16. Before I'd even ever trained, I was like, I'm walking around like this little 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Like I'm the fucking Don, you know?
Yeah.
And then you start training and you're like, maybe I'm not.
Fuck, like, this actually really hurts. Like, these people are fucking really good at what they do.
But I think it's a good journey to, especially at that sort of 16, 17 years of age, it's a fucking unbelievably important journey to go on. If you can do it earlier, brilliant, you know?
So my little one, the day she turned 4, I put her into BJJ.
Okay.
And I wouldn't put her into boxing. I wouldn't put her into kickboxing. Maybe things have changed when I was boxing, but I never liked how heavy kids sparred. Don't think kids should be getting it.
They don't have the control, do they?
And you see these poor little kids, they get chucked in and they're like, fucking and all this. I just don't want to see my little one getting smashed in the face.
Yeah.
I teach her how to throw little punches. God forbid she needs it, where to put your feet and how to go like this. But I just think BJJ, even as a character building thing, is so fucking humbling. And it just teaches you what you need to go far in life. And that's, even if it wasn't the self-defense thing, which again, there's not much better than BJJ anyway for a young person. What it teaches you and the person it makes you, for me, nothing better.
Yeah, I think like it humbles you, but then it also gives you, in return, if you stick with it, it kind of comes full circle where there's this whole like character arc thing. I'm gonna absolutely butcher this, but when you start, you are unconsciously incompetent. So you're unaware of how bad you are, right? And that's where you get cocky and arrogant, because you're simply unaware of your lack of skills. And in a way, it's quite like a innocent cockiness, because you're not aware. But then what happens is you move into the second stage where you're now consciously incompetent, and then your confidence dips.
You just realise everyone in the room's better than you.
Yeah. And that's usually about 3 or 4 sessions in. It comes very quickly.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get to the stage where you start to become consciously competent. And there is one more that I've missed, but eventually it comes round to where you're consciously competent, because you've gone through and you've been battered and you've been beaten down. And this happens with anything, whether it's a job or like a diet, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
This whole character arc goes with everything. That you start, you move in to the second phase, and then you come out where eventually you're consciously competent, but you're not arrogant with it.
Yeah.
Because you're aware that there's always going to be someone better than you, And I think that's like a really beautiful sort of a few phases to go through, which martial arts for me is just like that. That's exactly what that is.
I think one of the most attractive traits in someone is humility. And people I've met and come across, when someone's just a humble guy, and I feel like that's what that kind of gives you. Again, the best fighters I ever met were the most humble fucking geezers.
Yeah.
And you quickly realise that if someone is, again, there is always outliers, but you quickly realise that if someone is the loudest one in the room, quite often that is being insecure. And the most dangerous guys and the most humble guys, the ones you really got to watch out for, is the geezer that is the one who really knows what he's doing, is the one that's kind of not hurting anyone in the corner and he's being nice and he's just playing with people. That's the geezer that's the most dangerous, you know, the one that, as you said, like, he's past all of that stuff. That's why it's a really, anyone who's wearing, I love the belt system in BJJ, because anyone who's wearing, you know, a blue belt even, they've gone through, they've fucking grafted to get that, and they've had to go through all of those stages you just said there, getting bashed, getting fucking grounded on, and fucking your face all smushed every day, and getting up and thinking, and sitting in the car on the way home, and you're all fucking hurting, and you're thinking, why am I even doing this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what? I just got fucking torn to pieces by a geezer half my size. Like, what am I even doing here? Like, and you're constantly getting, you might build yourself up a bit and have a good little run, and then you're constantly getting smashed. You're always going to get smashed again, and to even stick to something like that shows what sort of character you are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's fantastic for someone, particularly who's maybe not the most confident, to get to even go and have a go, mate. 100%, it's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, I wish everyone would just try it a couple of times, because even if you don't stick with it and make it your whole like passion, it gives you just such a good perspective on that thing of like, I can be shit at something but get better if I stick with it. And even if you just do it for fucking 5-6 sessions, you can take that and then use that in something else that you're really, really passionate about.
It's funny you say that. People are starting to reach out, and what I'm finding myself saying, because anyone who sort of says, I want to give it a go, I'm like, mate, book one session, one. Whether it's boxing, BJJ, someone might say, oh mate, love what you're doing, like, I want to give boxing a go, whatever. I'll say, do it today, book one. Don't say I'm going to do it next week.
Yeah.
Because we've all done it, you won't do it.
Yeah.
I know this is what it is, right? We've all just done it, things happen, things change. Find today a gym, book a session, just one. Most clubs will give you a class for free even. It won't even cost you anything. Just go and do one session. I can't guarantee you'll love it, but there's a 99% chance you're going to go, fuck me, that was fantastic.
You're going to take something from it as well. Even if you don't love it, you're going to take something from it.
Exactly.
And it's probably going to be a positive thing, isn't it? Unless you
100%.
break your arm or something, which is very unlikely.
You get knocked out.
Yeah. You know, there is always that potential.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You told this beautiful story of like lending money. I don't know if you remember this video. I think it was one of your more recent ones. How you had a mate who, like, you'd lend back and forward 100 quid because you got paid on different times of the month.
Yeah.
And you said this thing at the end, which was, when you're on the way up, only eat with those who you would starve with. I think it might have been Conor McGregor who I heard say that.
I did Google it because I couldn't remember who said it, but I couldn't find it. I asked ChatGPT and I couldn't remember who said it.
Why do you think that's so important? Like, starving with someone first?
I'll use my mate as an example. I think because, okay, so my mate had no money, same as me. He's gone on to do really, really good things. And as I said in that, I'm really fucking proud of him. Because you want to see your mates do good. You know what I mean? You only want to boost your mates up. If you are, you know, if you're anything other than that, they're not really your mates. You know what I mean? Or you don't want them people around you. But the way I think of it is like, he's gone on to have nice things and nice cars and whatnot. And none of it means any fucking thing to me. I don't care. I don't want to, I've never called him and gone, oh mate, take me out in your car or whatever. Because when we was driving about in his shitty little Ford Fiesta, I like him all the same. There's no difference to me. You know what I mean? I don't care what he's got now or whatever. So along the line, you are going to have people, as you do ascend and you do come up, you are going to have people that are going to want to jump in your car and come with you on things that weren't there before. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying them people have got bad intentions or whatever, but what I'm saying is, if someone was with you when you was in the shitty Ford Fiesta and we were pushing it to get it started, that person is with you. They're not with you because you're now driving a Lamborghini. And that for me, that was all that came about. That was how that story even came about, because we still laugh about all that stuff today. Like, But yeah, all I was thinking along those lines was like, if you know someone was there for the bad times, it's a bit like a bird, like it's a bit like a missus. Like, if she was with you when you had fuck all, like my missus, when I got with my missus, I've gone off on a proper fucking tangent here. But
you're cool.
when I got with my missus, I was doing all right, you know, out every Sunday, a few £100 on a shisha and a bit of dinner or whatever. Probably looked like I was doing okay or whatever. Never absolutely smashing it, but I was doing okay. And then a really weird thing happened. I lost fucking everything. And my missus watched us go from up here to a mattress. We had a baby, and then all three of us were on a mattress on the floor at my mum's, right? Being on a mattress on the floor at your mum's ain't even a fucking bad thing. If you're on your own, mate, it's light work, it's easy. Like, we've all done it. We've all had good times and bad, and you've gone back to your mum's. It's fucking great, to be fair. She makes you dinner, like, it's not...
It's free rent as
mate,
well,
it's
right?
fucking lovely. Not even that bad. But that's okay, because you've only got your own self to look after. But the second... When it gets really heavy is when you're back at your mum's with your missus and your little 2-year-old, 1-year-old, whatever she was at that point. That's fucking heavy. That's like... The decisions I've made haven't only impacted me, but they're along the ride as well.
Yeah.
That's fucking hard graft.
I can only talk from like personal experience. I don't have a kid, and, you know, but like I can relate to that, having to move back into your parents' thing after sort of funding yourself for a while.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine, like, I felt like I kind of let myself down a little bit.
Not only have you let yourself down, which again is hard enough as it is, but you've dragged them along for the ride and all. And that was like, fucking hell, what am I doing here? You know what I mean? That, if anyone ever said, like, what's your lowest point, I would say, being back at your mum's, that ain't an issue. She's cooking your fucking roast dinners and doing your washing, it's blinding on your own. But you drag a family along for the ride and your missus and the little one, yeah, that fucking hurts, mate. So the reason I got onto that was, she was there, and she was there, like, with me, you know, from the up and the down. And now, I mean, we're not far from where we was, but we're slowly now, things are starting to tick up. So, you know, that person there is in it. They're in it with you in the good and the bad. So yeah, that's kind of, sorry, I went off on a tangent.
That's perfect, man.
That led me, it got my mind sort of spinning from, the, going back to the mate thing, only eat with people that you starved with, kind of just, I'd heard the phrase, I chat GPT'd it or Googled it or whatever. Was it Conor McGregor that said it?
I think it was. I've definitely seen a clip of him saying it.
Yeah, I'd heard the phrase, but it just kind of sprung to mind. I started telling that story. I don't really have a script for any of this. Like, I'll go to the gym and I'll grab my camera, I'll take my camera with me, and I don't really even know what I'm going to fucking do. I just go, I put it there, and I get my bag stuff on, and I just hit the bag, and I start sort of verbalising whatever fucking comes to mind.
I think that's what's unique about what you're doing.
Yeah, I guess
because that
so,
kind
yeah.
of comes through when you're watching it. To me, my perception of it is, you've got a bit of a sweat on, your brain starts flowing, and you're just trying to help people. That's all it seems like, and it's beautiful to watch.
You know when you're in the gym and you're on the bag, and your mate's on the bag next to you, and you're just hitting the bag. It kind of came a bit of, you might not be chatting because you're training, but you know, like lad chat, like you might have a little chat and boom, boom, boom. It kind of come from that, really. But it wasn't planned. Like, none of this was planned. All this is kind of sprung out of nowhere. And I literally took a camera to the gym one day and just had a go, basically. And yeah, that's how this all started.
I think it's just authenticity. You know, there's a lot of people really trying to do things that are just really disingenuous and not authentic online. And I think when you get someone who comes along and maybe isn't even aware of all of that, and they're just like, this is me, I'm just doing my own thing, it just stands out.
I'm aware that the feedback I'm getting, I walked to the shop the other day, and a geezer, which is a totally alien feeling, goes, CJ. And I'm like, yeah, Thinks
know
it's
you?
good, like, yeah. Hello. But he goes, CJ. I'm like, yeah, you all right, mate? He's like, I love what you're doing. I was like, oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
And he said, we are so fed up of what's out there. Like, I can't remember how he worded it, but he basically said, look, we're so fed up with this bollocks that you're seeing every day. You know, like everyone's giving it the big I am. He said, it's like a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? What you're doing, and that's a lot of what I'm getting is along those lines. And I think people are kind of sick of the bullshit that we're all just being fed, and you know, like it's the same narrative, and it's the same like, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. Look at this, look at that. Blah, blah, blah. When it ain't got to be like that. I think people just like a bit of real. You know what I mean?
What do you think drives that? Like people chasing that?
What chasing? What you mean? Like
going down that, maybe not chasing that, but going down that route of a little bit of negativity and bullshit. Because I find myself doing it sometimes. You know.
I think we live in a time where controversy sells and gets clicks, which I understand. I you know, like a lot of these guys come to mind, like, you know, the big boys, you know, the guys, who are the biggest streamers out there at the minute, and what happens?
Like that iShowSpeed dude who's sort of
not so much him,
screaming.
because I don't think he does like negativity. I think he's pivoted to more like, because didn't he start by doing like skits and pranks on people?
I think he
and
actually
shit?
originally started by streaming FIFA.
Oh right, okay.
I think.
Because I see him out a few times, and he was doing a bit of like, not winding people up, but he was
Yeah.
kind of, I don't know if he was doing pranks or doing mad shit. And I think people's reaction was kind of negative to it, but I'm sure probably that got loads and loads and loads of clicks.
Yeah.
And I don't know, we live in a time where people just love to see, I feel like people love to see a bit of beef as well at the minute. Everyone's like, oh yeah, they want to air their dirty laundry online, and they want to like, I'll pick a fight with him and blah, 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 blah. Mate, you are never, ever going to get that out of me. I come from a time where fighting, for me, 10 whatever so years ago, it was different then. Like, there wasn't so much social media. You were lucky if they even filmed your fucking fight.
Yeah.
I've got fights on the YouTube where the footage is so fucking bad. Like I don't know what they fucking filmed it with.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like, you can hardly, mate, one of the best shots I ever landed on someone, a geezer comes flying out, and I hit him with a check left hook. It's the best shot I've ever thrown. Dropped him, first shot, right? It was like magnificent. Do you think the guy even got it on the fucking camera?
It's like lagging behind.
Mate, we've flown out. I've like majestically just jumped back and just gone bink, like Moses Atama when he done, I don't know, check left hook some guy. But
Right.
it was just lovely. Best shot I've ever thrown in my life. They fucking never even got it on the camera. Literally, the guy falls down and they're like, oh yeah, we should be filming that. You know, like for fuck's sake.
Can we redo it?
Yeah. I feel like now, like, it's so much easier with these platforms and whatever. But it was a different time then. I was always about the respect, and I'm a sucker for a bit of sportsmanship. You know what I mean? I love all that, and I never really got involved in all of that, like beef before and all of that. I was always told it's wasted energy. The guys that I was around and I looked up to, fighters and whatnot, my trainers, a lot of the time they'd be like, what the fuck are you getting involved in that for? Like, I know you can get in their head and you can win a fight before maybe even get a geezer a bit scared and whatnot. But for me, I always went with, I ain't going to get involved in all that. It's wasted energy. Go out to the weigh-ins, you know, you mean business, but you're an assassin. You're there to do a fucking job. An assassin don't get all, an assassin don't do that. Assassin walks in cool, calm, fucking kills someone and walks off. And that is how I was always taught. Respect, and respect your guy before and after, no emotion. And that was what I was kind of taught and how I was raised. So to see now, you've got all of this, and again, I suppose it's all for clicks and controversy or whatever, but you've got guys that are weighing, slapping each other. It's like, I'm sure they're probably told, yeah, like, you know, create a bit of a fuss or push him or something, you know what I mean? It's totally alien to me. Oh, that weren't like that back then. I sound like an old fucking man, but I preferred it when it was all like, you know, people were just a bit more respectful, you know what I mean? But again, sound like I'm only old fucker.
There's a line, like, I think everyone's still trying to copy Conor McGregor from 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
But it worked then because it was authentic to him. and he was also still relatively respectful at that point too. It's kind of got a bit off the deep end in my opinion. I don't particularly enjoy watching it now either. But
I think McGregor's was special. I think he had the trifecta. He could fucking talk so well.
Yeah.
And he had that. He was likable. You know what I mean? And he had that. You remember the very first. Who did he knock out? Brimage.
Yeah, in his debut.
Got on the camera and it's like, Dana, 60 G's. But that was fucking iconic. Everyone does that now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, no one had done that really back then.
And it was a bit
like
cheeky. It was
cheeky, and there was an innocence to it. Like, you could see he had fuck all. And that's what people liked. And I think, and he could obviously, the third one being, he could fucking fight.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of transcended the sport. Like, he got bigger than the UFC, didn't he, at one point?
Oh,
like,
he arguably is.
Yeah.
Like now.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like, if Conor McGregor fought, if they had Alex Pereira versus John Jones on a weekend, but then for some reason Conor McGregor like started his own promotion, left the UFC or whatever, I think more people would watch McGregor. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like, even if he wasn't fighting anyone particularly great, I think more people would watch.
Yeah, but I think he was special, and it's good for these young ones to be able to go, yeah, I want to be like him, but he could just do it all. Like, he really was special. At one point, as you say, he obviously went a different direction. Yeah,
I think like he was a particularly good role model at that point in time as well.
100%, yeah.
Where like he was doing something really, really difficult, but it was his dream, and he was chasing something so hard and like running away from this life that he didn't want, and he was actually being very successful at it and being unique and being himself, and also like bringing other people up and helping inspire people. He's the reason I started martial arts, because I started watching some videos around the time he was fighting Floyd Mayweather, and I was listening to what he was saying. I could really resonate with it as a young kid.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, this guy's fucking doing it. You know, like he's ascending from a shit situation. He's about to make $100 million, you know? Like, that's money at that age I didn't even think was possible.
Yeah, it's a fantastic story, wasn't it? It was great. Up until that point, even like all the... I can't remember when I kind of stopped watching, but I think it was the documentary. At what point did they do the documentary? I watched that.
It was just after the Mayweather fight.
Yeah, I watched that. And then I kind of... I don't want to be... What's the word? Negative, but... I kind of, once he hit the old man in the bar.
Yeah.
Didn't really like that. And I think people started seeing, but look, at the same time, what we got to remember is he's a human fucking being, yeah? He can't walk down the road now. He can't. Like, his life must be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of pressures that probably come with that. So you might see that tiny little clip of, all right, as the example I used, he hit that fella in the bar. Terrible look. Terrible. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But, I mean, you've seen one little clip. That's probably not a good one to use. There was another one where he smashed the geezer's phone. Don't know if you remember that one. That.
Was that when he was out like partying or something?
Something like that, yeah. And now, that one is a little bit more sort of, I don't want to say defendable, but all day long, you're out and about with your family, people fucking film you, jumping in. It must do a thing to you. You know what I mean? It must take its toll. At one point, you must think, fucking hell, like, leave me alone. And some pricks come and jumped in and you've grabbed his phone and gone smash. And all you've seen is that tiny little clip. We don't know the context of that. Geezer might have been going, oh, mate, you're a wanker. You know, you don't know what happened before. Yeah. Probably didn't happen like that. I'm just saying, I'm not defending him, but at the same time, it must be very difficult to be in that public limelight.
I wouldn't want it. Not to that degree.
No.
I think there's a nice level of like you were saying, you get recognised and someone goes, oh, I really like what you're doing, it's really helping.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. And I also think it's what you're being recognised for. Like, I would never want to put anything out there that's too negative, because I don't want to walk down the street and have some geezer come up to me and be anything other than positive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm only going to be ever putting positivity out there, because that's all I want back. I'm never going to be on there doing anything too controversial or, you know, talking bad on people or whatever, because I don't want that to come back to me.
Yeah.
Because it's the real world we live in. The internet, people tend to forget that as well. Like, you can hide away behind your phone and say bad stuff, but mate, you've got to be out there in the real world even. There's a geezer, that sprung to mind just then, actually. Big Stacks, right? Now, fair play to Big Stacks, right? He's gone and he come out of nowhere, he's gone viral and all that, yeah? But it's fucking hard to do what he's done, because now you and I've put a big fucking target on your own back. And I know it's comedy, I think what he's done is, he don't believe he's the hardest man in the UK.
No.
But I guarantee he steps to any fight show or walks down the road, I bet there's some geezer that wants to fucking have a go at him or try it.
It's funny, I'm part of blowing Big Stacks up, right?
Yeah.
I did 2-3 videos, maybe a couple more. There was a video of him taking his shirt off. And he's saying, like,
he's in good shape, mate. He's a big geezer, you know what I mean? Yeah. He looks all right.
Yeah, and I saw it, and at first I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
I think at the time he had about 10,000 followers or something. And I just clipped the video and went, one leg kick. Because it was just funny, you know. But the video blew up. It did like 700,000 views.
Wow.
And then he did a reply, and we sort of got in this back and forward, and the videos were doing so good. They were doing like 300K, 1 million.
Yeah.
Like, but it was all negativity.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had this moment where I was like, why am I doing this? We were messaging back and forth like, oh, this is funny.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I don't genuinely believe it's what he thinks. I think he's even come out later and gone, listen, because he's probably started getting some really heavy fucking geezers going, mate.
I know for a fact he has.
Yes, exactly. And although he is a big lump and he can probably walk around wherever he wants, you don't need that sort of, fuck me, am I going to walk into this place and some cunt's going to offer me out? Sorry to swear. Some prick's going to offer me out. Like, that's not what I would want. As I said, I would only want to be walking around and people be a bit positive. Yeah. Because, unfortunately, say what you want on the internet, but we do live in the real fucking world, and someone will inevitably catch up with you.
And it is funny, like, I went to, Subzone in Manchester.
No.
Really good gym. I went into an open mat there and just had a few rolls, and I had someone come up to me straight away and was like, so when are you going to do Big Stacks in then? And I was like, oh, just
as you say, behind the scenes, you was talking, it was a laugh.
Like, I don't want that to be what I'm known for, you know? Like, I want this to be what I'm known for, like helping people, and hopefully someone can listen to a little clip and take something away. But the reason I'm saying that is because as much as I'm sat here preaching with you and like getting on my fucking high horse and being like, oh, you shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that, I fucking do it. I fall into the trap, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I fall into the trap. I'm 23, I'm going to make mistakes along the way.
Mate, we're only just learning. We're all learning. As I said, we are ever learning. And to think that you've got it all sussed out, miles away, mate. No one at any point. I put out a little video yesterday saying I'm 38 years old. I ain't got a fucking clue what I'm doing. Like, literally, I'm figuring it out as I go. And the amount of people that message me, mate, I'm 50. Mate, I'm 60. I ain't got a fucking clue what I'm doing. So we're all in the same boat. Yeah. We're all facing the same struggles. You know what I mean?
You actually had a quote which I wanted to read out, which was, this world is full of pretenders. Geezers that will talk like they know what they're doing, but in reality, they ain't got a fucking clue.
Yeah, it's funny. Unfortunately, that's the case. And the internet, I could have probably done this a long time ago, like, because nothing's really changed. But I really cared. Like, I might post something online or whatever, and I always thought, oh, what if someone don't like it? Like, because you're always going to get someone, and if you don't do that because of possibly one person being negative, mate, you are never going to do anything in your fucking life. Like, literally, no matter what you fucking do, someone will not like you, and someone will go, I'm trying to think. I'm on this thing at the moment where positivity. Every single video, every live stream. Mate, live streams are a car crash, right? Like, I don't know what I'm saying. I literally just press the button and I just have a go, right? I'm getting up crack of dawn. I've had 4 hours sleep. I'm riding an hour into London, setting up a camera. You know what it's like. Set the camera up, the light, blah, blah. It's ag. It ain't easy. Set the live stream up, putting out some positivity. You are still going to get a geezer go, oh, that's say this, I'm on Leicester Square, Trafalgar Square. Oh, I'm 5 minutes from there. I'm coming down. So, like, have a fight. Oh, stay there, I'm going to come have you. You're like, and my response to that is, brother, stay in fucking bed. Like, You know what I mean? There ain't a fight here for you. Oh, I'm going to come down, bring the smoke. I'm like, there is no smoke here for you.
Yeah.
You could turn up and I go, hello, mate, you all right? And again, 99% of people ain't going to turn up anyway. You might get some lunatic who wants it, but I don't fucking want, there ain't no fight here for you. I'm here to put positivity out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm here to potentially help someone and get them off their arse and have a go. Not get started on by some random geezer, oh, I'm coming down for the smoke. Mate, there's no fucking smoke here for you.
But do you think that's because of like sort of a lack of purpose or unfulfillment in their lives? It's nothing about what you're doing.
It's a reflection. Being negative, being negative online, sitting on someone's live, or spending the time and the energy to sit there and go and to troll says a lot more about you than it does the other person.
Yeah.
Of course, right? So, and that's what I'm kind of saying to these people. It's getting to the point where I don't get loads and loads of hate, but as I say, you get a little bit on every single video you do, and if you let that stop you doing it, you're never going to do anything. So you're better off just kind of not even acknowledging it and just moving on and staying positive. But occasionally, every now and then, I'm too stupid to filter what I'm reading because I'm doing my little live. Mate, I'm concentrating on boxing and moving about, and I'm trying to. Oh, shout out to so and so. Hello, Dave. You're right. Shout out to, and then I'll read like some horrible negative comment, like, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Or I'll read out like Hairy Ballsack has said like, and I'm like, oh, shout out Hairy Ballsack, and I'm like, fuck, you know what I mean? Because I'm too fucking stupid to filter this stuff before I'm reading it, and yeah, but I'm learning as I go. It's an alien thing for me to do any of this stuff, let alone sticking a live stream camera on, because there's no editing out. A lot of this stuff, you edit it out, post, and it's really easy. Perfect. Yeah. Whereas in real life, it ain't that, and especially when you've got someone having a pop at you, makes it even harder to do. But if you let that stop you, go on.
No, Karen.
You let that stop you, mate. You ain't gonna do nothing with your life. There's always gonna be some fucker that wants to have a go at you.
That's a really like my mum always. I've done some like stuff that's a bit off the cuff, like nothing mental, but for my family standard, a little bit like, well, what are you doing, And the amount of times I've gone to my mum like, oh, I'm doing this, fucking basically going to be up for 24 hours traveling around the country filming, and she's like, what are you doing that for?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, what if you get tired, or like, I went to Thailand by myself randomly on about 10 days notice. And she was really panicking, And my dad's quite similar. And I'm like, oh, but I could step across the road and not check, and a bus hits me, Mate,
100%.
Like, what? Ultimately, one day I'm going to be dead, and my body is not going to be here anymore. It's going to disintegrate into the ground, right? Like,
I'm sure your mum don't want to hear that, but yeah.
But like, that is what's going to happen.
Ultimately, Mum, I'm going to die, so I might as well just risk my fucking life.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, that is what's going to happen. I had a mate die when he was 13.
Yeah.
Like,
mate, life's not fair, man.
When something like that happens, it just puts in a bit of perspective of like, you know what? Let's actually just do something.
100%.
Because I know he fucking would want to.
And it's so easy to get stuck and just be normal. Particularly, we touched on it a little bit earlier about having, everyone's got bills to pay and money to pay, and we're in this horrible rat race of doing shit that, unfortunately, most of us are doing shit that we don't want to do to earn the money to pay bills that we don't want to fucking pay. You know what I mean? So, and you end up getting trapped in that, and very few people manage to break out of that and do something that they actually even enjoy doing, let alone like, working for themselves or whatever. So the fact that I think it's going to challenge a lot of people's, like, for you to say, oh, I'm going to get a camera and just go and fucking have a go at doing something. I think that's a good thing, because like most people ain't really, I say, got that in them. But I'm not knocking your mum and dad, by the way,
no,
but I'm just saying, like, it's alien to a lot of people. Even when I grabbed the camera, you get people going, like, what the fuck are you doing that for? Like, and I'm 38, so I think I'm probably over the demographic of people that are starting to stream, maybe, and do all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And that was a little bit of a negative thought in my head. Like, well, fuck you. Even I said that to myself. Like, mate, you're nearly 40 years old. You've got a daughter. Like, are you even going to be a streamer? Like, do you know what I mean? What are we doing? Like, but again, I went, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to have a go. And only positive things have come from having a go.
You say like a lot of people don't have that in them, but I think a lot of people do, because I remember starting out, I did a bit of like PT work, and seeing a lot of like PTs posting videos and that, and I was like, oh, that could never be me. I can't do that. Like, the idea of standing in front of a camera and talking was like so alien to me, and I could never picture myself doing it in any lifetime, you know.
But here you are.
But now I do.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, I don't think it's a case of you don't have it in you. I think anyone can do pretty much anything as long as their body allows them to.
Yeah.
It is just a case of like sort of unlocking a pattern of thinking, I think, for most people. And that's kind of, for me, I've got that through things like podcasts, hence why I wanted to start one, because if I can help someone, or if one of my guests can help someone in any way, shape or form, that's fucking amazing, you know.
What I mean by people get stuck as well is people I hang around with, and again, I don't want to talk down on you, like, because you're 23, right?
Yeah, 23.
I'm a 38-year-old geezer. So the geezers I hang around with naturally are going to be older than the fellas that you might be knocking about with, up in their 60s or whatever. And the amount of them that are stuck in jobs that they have had to do for the last 10, 20 years because they just had bills to pay. And they are desperately fucking unhappy. And they wish to God that they had done something 10, 12, 15 years ago. But they got stuck. They got stuck earning that 2, 3, whatever it is, grand a month, because they got the mortgage to pay, because they got mouths to feed. That's what I meant by people. You're right. You've got it in you to go and do stuff, but so many of those people, even if you've got it in you, just can't, because you are stuck to that commitment of providing. And it's what you have to do, isn't it? I mean, I'm not saying it's not. Don't go and do that. Just fuck off all your fatherly fucking.
Leave the wife, leave the kids. Start Instagram.
Be a streamer, Travel Thailand for a month. Fuck it. No, I ain't saying that. But what I'm saying is, cut that out. But what I'm saying is, like, the amount of people I see that are so desperately unhappy in what they're doing, and they're stuck because of these games that we have to play and this money that you have to go and earn, and that's not what I want to be, and that's another reason. Because I was dangerously close to, I still play them games now. I have to go, you have to earn money. I've got kids, whatever, same as everyone else. But I was dangerously close to letting all of this stuff that I'd learned and all my experience and, the bravery that I once had, I was dangerously close to just letting that all just be forgotten and fading into a normal fucking life. And that in itself is fucking petrifying.
Yeah, it's, do you know Chris Williamson is?
I know the name. The Anson fella does a really good podcast. Yeah.
So he calls that like just being comfortably numb. And
he talks about right. Yeah.
He talks about how your situation would actually be better off if it got worse, because it would force you into action. Yeah. So
makes total sense.
Instead of being in that just like meandering around life zone of paying for the car that drives you to the job that you hate, but you have to go to the job because you have to pay for the car. So all of a sudden you start resenting the car, and then you may be with your wife who makes you kind of happy, but you're still looking at other women down the street, and you're like, I wouldn't mind a bit of that. Yeah. And you're kind of just about satisfied, which means that you're gonna just about carry on doing what you're doing, but you're never going to be really happy. But actually, what would be better is if you lost the job and then your wife leaves you because you got no money, and then you have to get rid of the car and give the keys back to that, because it would force you into action, doing something that you would actually want to do. Yeah. Because you've had that kick up the arse. And I think, like, I don't know, like sometimes we need a bit of that where like things have to go a bit wrong to push us into something that we really feel passionate about. Definitely. But going back to what we were saying, mate, a lot of people float along being what you just said, comfortably numb, and they ain't happy. They're just stuck in the motions, and I was dangerously close to falling into that. But all of this stuff and even a little bit of training again and whatever has kind of given me a bit of a, because I always had like a bit of a dream
like a bit of a focus, a thing to like sort of, oh, I'm going to do that. You know, I'm doing all of this stuff because I'm going to move to somewhere or do this, or, you know, like a goal. And I just lost all of that, and I didn't have a goal, and I was just going to work every day, just to pay some bills, and nothing. I got a beautiful family, I'm very fucking grateful for that, but nothing was fulfilling me, as in like, for me, you know what I mean? For like, nothing was making me, I didn't have no drive, I didn't have no like, oh, I'm going to do that. And because once I get my teeth into something, I kind of get a bit obsessed with it. And I'm like, oh, they're like a hobby, or a thing on the side, or, you know, when you find something new, even this sort of stuff. Man, I love looking at cameras now, and, you know, mics, and just a geek with it. I'm a proper geek with a technical stuff, and I'm reading all that. Just something to occupy your mind, to take you away from the stuff that you know, the mundane stuff that we all have to do. And I think that's what I got very stagnant, and I had nothing to aspire to, and I lost my way a little bit there, I think.
Do you feel that like drive and ambition has ever sort of hampered a bit of your happiness though?
I am a dreamer. I am a dreamer, and I've always had like, my dreams have never come true. Like, I've never really got to where I'm fucking dreaming. But again, it touches on what I just said then about like, you've got to have something to dream about. Otherwise, what the fuck are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, you've got to have something to work towards and graft towards. And I've always had these mad aspirations, and like, I don't know, in my 20s, well, I suppose I wanted to be a fighter, but I wanted the stuff that come with being a fighter. Yeah, I want the money, I want a car. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to have a Bentley by the time I'm 30. Blah, blah. Mate, I haven't got a fucking car. You know what I mean? I drive my mum's banged up Suzuki Alto. Like, it's got a dent in every fucking, and I'm 38. I'm 8 years past that. And do you know the mad thing? If you give me £1 million tomorrow, I wouldn't go and buy a Bentley. You know, like, things change, and your goals pivot, and things, what you want in life as you know, move through changes. But I don't know about has it ever hampered me. I think having lofty ambitions is a really good thing. I don't really see that being a negative thing. But as I say, my ambitions have changed as I've moved on through life, and I'm sure everyone's. If you have this conversation again in 10 years, what you want won't be the same.
Yeah.
Because things just change, and we all change. Like, people change, life changes you.
Yeah, I think when I ask that question is because sometimes I spoke to a guy called Nathan Fletcher who.
Yeah, I know the guy. I know of the guy's name. Yeah.
He recently got cut from the UFC, like, unexpectedly. I think he was like 1-1 in the UFC or something. And he was talking about this like really nice, again, loop. There's a bit of a metaphor, but he was talking about like a Mexican fisherman who. It's not a true story, but it just sort of lays out a nice cycle of sort of thought process. Mexican fisherman who just catches enough fish to feed his family and get by. And then one day this American businessman comes over and goes, whoa, like, you're a really good fisherman. Like, you should buy a boat and start catching more fish. And he was like, well, why? So you can sell them fish to then buy another boat to then be able to catch more fish, and then you can make it into a business. And it's like, well, why?
Yeah.
Because then you could sell that business off, and eventually the whole loop comes back around to making enough money to just still do what he enjoys, which is just catching enough fish to feed his family, to spend time with his family.
Yeah.
So it goes like, you have all this drive and ambition to just end up back at where you originally was anyway. And I guess the argument would be that like, you want to be able to catch fish not because you need to, but because you want to, and that's what you want to do. And
I think if you went out into this, if you went out into the world and actually asked people, say, I don't know, what's middle age, 40, 45, whatever, I don't know. Are you happy in what you're doing? Oh, mate, I reckon 99% of people would go, are you fucking joking? Of course I ain't, but I have to do it because I've got to earn money, because I've got bills to pay and family and whatnot. So if you are doing what you want to do and you're earning a few quid from it, you're a fucking lucky man.
Yeah.
You are like blessed. If you can go work and do something you enjoy. If my kid, or when my kid turns to me and says, what am I supposed to go and do? I would say that without thinking, I would say, do what you want to do, as in like, do what you enjoy to do. Don't learn something that you don't fucking like, that you're not going to want to, that you're not, because if inevitably, you might not even follow through with it if you don't like it anyway. Down the line, you'll end up pivoting or changing. But if you can do something, well, what do they say? I'm not very good with sayings, but what do they say about if you do something you want to do, you don't work a day in your life or some bollocks? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that is very much the case. If you can do something you enjoy, which is, I mean, having trained and fought from a young age, holding pads for me is something I quite enjoy. So I have previously worked in held pads and whatnot. As hard as it is on your body, mate, fucking hell, elbows, back. As hard as it is, you can train smart though, you know, paddles and bits and bobs. But I'm always the fucker that gets like 110 kg Muay Thai world champion, wants to do like some fucking kicking on the pads. Yeah. You know, I'm that guy. You know, like I get paired up with the monster.
Because you're a big dude as well.
I get paired up with fucking Rico Verhoeven. Like wants to practice his middle kicks. You know what I mean? Oh no, we ain't got no body pads today. Lovely. Like I'm just there, like, smash. Oh no, I want to throw some low kicks. Yeah, chop. You know, I'm always that fucker. You know them ones as well where it just jars your fucking elbow. And I'm like, yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, I'm just gonna I had to do that last night. I got paired with a dude who was like the biggest dude in the gym. You know, kicks like a truck.
Love it when that happens.
Yeah. The first kick, the pad flew off my hand, and I was like,
oh shit,
this is going to be a fun hour and a half.
Yeah, but I always found with them, you're in a rock and a hard place with catching a low kick with pads because you either lock your arm. Well, I used to like lock my arm straight, or lock it to like a 95. And try and sort of catch it there, and it's just going to jar your elbow. What I found is if you stuff your forearm into your leg takes the shot, but your leg's getting fucking pounded then as well. Yeah. So you're either sacrificing your elbow, or you're getting fucking smashed in the leg. So either way, just avoid the big fella in the gym. Yeah. Just go with a little geezer. You know what I mean? just get the newbie. Like, come mate.
Right. 2 more questions. What do you think is the biggest crisis facing young men at the moment?
Left the best questions to last. Fucking hell. Let me have a think about this. So what's the crisis facing young men at the minute? I would say, well, let's go off of what people are starting to message me. Young geezers are starting to message me. This is the sort of shit that I need to be seeing, like that they need to be seeing, because what they're being shown at the moment is there's a very delicate line there somewhere. So I tread carefully, because on one hand you're being told that being a man, you know, you've got this toxic masculinity thing. And again, I'm probably not going to articulate this very well, but so on one hand you might talk to someone and they'll say, oh yeah, he's toxic masculine, blah blah blah, which on the let's go towards like the manosphere. You know, you've seen this thing, right? It was really weird how that kind of just happened, and then I started doing positive stuff and people automatically started saying, this is what we need to see, not this stuff over here. And I do think, without digging right into the manosphere, I do think Louis Theroux is very good. I like Louis Theroux. Louis Theroux is very good at making documentaries, and he's good at making stuff people are going to watch. If these guys were boring, no one would watch it. So he's obviously picked a lot of the guys that he knew were going to maybe play up, or he can get something out of, you know. Not defending them, because a lot of what they're doing as well, would I want my daughter around it? Of course not. But lost my train of thought. On the flip side to that, so there is a delicate line. Like, I do think that there ain't enough proper fucking geezers around. You know, like proper geezers. You know, like, I don't really give a fuck what I look like. Now that sounds weird. I've got a terrible fucking hairline and my teeth are fucked, right? And I don't really give a shit. Like, I'd like to get my teeth done one day maybe, but I feel like everyone's kind of like worried about their abs or prim and proper. I've been young, I've done it, right? But it ain't what life's all about. Life's about being a good fucking geezer. And it's about showing people fucking respect, and you get what you put out. And if you put positivity out, half of the time, or most of the time, you get it back. If you put respect out, I don't give a fuck where you're from, race, religion, I don't give a shit about none of it, right? If you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. And I just think that geezers ain't really got, young geezers maybe ain't got the best of role models to be looking up to at the minute, and they're also being told, it's a confusing fucking thing, because they're being told on one hand, it's toxic to be a man, you know, like to be too much of a man, but on the other hand, where are all the good fucking men then? You know what I mean? Where are all the geezers? Where are the geezers that you send into a fucking war? You know what I mean?
I think the problem is that, you know what we were talking about earlier about the loudest in the room?
Yeah.
That kind of carries over to the internet.
Yeah.
The loudest in the room is the person with the most followers and creating the most controversy.
100%.
And I think that's the problem, is that what we're seeing and being put into our algorithm are those guys because they're the loudest in the fucking room. And the guys who are quietly going about, you know, and like, as you say, like being a good geezer. I don't use that word. It feels weird saying it, but...
Sorry. No. Good bloke.
But like, just being a good man, you know?
Good man.
Like,
yeah.
they're not worried about being the loudest in the room, which means that they're kind of not being seen as much.
Yes.
I think that's a big problem.
It's an attention economy that we're living in. Unfortunately, the wrong people are getting pushed to the front. The loudest one in the room is a term that I was used as a negative term, like the loudest one in the room, without stealing old Denzel's quote, was the weakest one in the room.
Yeah.
And that is how I was raised. The nail that sticks out gets hammered. And that is one of the terms that was drilled into me from young. My old man used to say, listen, the nail that fucking sticks out will get hammered first.
Yeah.
And be the quiet one. Be the humble one. You know, like, have the tools that we need to you know, if God forbid you ever need them, you can call upon them. But the loudest one in the room and the weakest one in the room. And we've obviously now moved into a time where these young ones are watching the TikToks and the Instagrams, and the loudest ones, as you said, are getting the most fucking views and the most love, and they're getting the love and all of that for the wrong fucking reasons. So yeah, it kind of goes back to, I feel like they ain't particularly got anything good to look at the minute, the young ones. And they're being pulled one way and pulled another. So it's a very strange time.
Last question then is, it's a bit of a selfish one. Like, I feel privileged to be able to sit and just like pick people's minds. So as a young man myself, what can I do right now to set myself up to just live a good life a little bit later on?
What can you do? Again, it goes back to a little bit of what we were saying a minute ago, and that is, do something you enjoy doing. If I was being a dad, if I'm talking to my little one, that is the only piece of advice, that is one of the most important pieces of advice I would give, and that is, do something you like to do. Do not go and do something and get stuck doing something that you don't fucking enjoy, because that ain't fun. And without sounding cliche, if you can earn money off something you enjoy doing, then it ain't like going to work, and you're going to stick to it, and you're going to have a good life. But away from money and all of that bollocks, just live fucking life, and don't take nothing too seriously yet. An older geezer that I used to look up to said to me years and years ago, your 20s are literally just for fucking around. And that's probably not a very good, like, not fucking around as in birds or whatever, but fucking around as in, like, you're just figuring it all out. Like, no one really knows what the crack is. And I remember him saying, like, yeah, your 30s, because I was always worried about trying to earn a few quid or whatever. And he's like, mate, relax. Like, and he's like 50 or whatever then. He was like, mate, relax. 20s, you're just fucking figuring it out. 30s, all right, you maybe start taking it a little bit more seriously. And 40s is when you earn a few quid. Like, you actually earn a few, like, proper dough. Whereas, so if you think, oh, well, actually, do you know what? Yeah, like, I ain't got to put this pressure on myself to go and do it now. But if I had to give advice to anyone, I would say, as you said earlier as well, you can fucking die tomorrow. Live fucking life, mate. Like, do everything you want to go and do now. Because inevitably, you will probably end up with a family, with kids, and you can't then go and do what you want to go and do. You know what I mean? You want to go away for a month, Thailand or whatever, you're tied down to a family, and unless you just say, yeah, see you later, I'm going. No, but you know what I mean? Like, do what you fucking want to do, because life's too fucking short to not. That's probably about as deep as I can get.
Listen, CJ, man, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, brother.